I think a lot of people, especially younger guys, or that's something you got to learn. It takes a lot to like admit you were wrong or like this is my fault or whatever. And this industry is pretty small, and like when you gotta get the reputation of blaming everybody else but yourself, that's not going to go over well. Because eventually people are like, when 20 people are like, this guy just bitching again, complaining, it's everyone else's fault. It's just like, no, it was yours, dummy. Like, just own up to it, accept it, do better, get it out your head.
Yeah, it's really that simple. Just a
It's
little bit of
it's
ownership.
it's simple, but it's not. It's just like, can you put your ego aside, stop pussyfooting around? What's the problem? Everyone else, or is it you? And I think that's a problem a lot of people have just in general in life.
Well, I think it's just something that we're older dudes, and that's not a young man's game. In my 20s, I was quick to easily blame other people.
Yeah. Oh no, that's for sure. And I think that's the problem with I think that's the problem with this whole like alpha male nonsense that's been pushed since it pushed very hard by a lot of these guys, including the Andrew Tate and I don't know. Is that a thing with Joe Rogan? Like
No.
alpha male nonsense?
No.
So who were the assholes that were like that besides Andrew Tate?
I don't subscribe to that.
No, but I think there was an agenda that was started to form in the last couple years.
Oh yeah, no.
And it's very blame everyone else.
Well, because it's catering to disenfranchised dudes who are looking for a reason to blame anyone but themselves on why they're not getting laid, why they're not successful, why life is not going as the fairy tale promised them. That is the problem. It's like, if you look at any classic fairy tale, what's the reward for the hero?
The girl at the end.
Exactly. And we're all heroes in our own story, right?
Of course.
So why the am I not getting the girl? I'm the hero. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a dangerous path to go down where, how's that working out for you also? All these guys
not well, obviously
doing that,
if they're paying some ass to teach them how to be an alpha male for $50 a month, it's not going well.
Save the 50.
Give it to me. I will give you better life advice. It's not good. It'll be good. It's not going to be good, but it'll be worth your $50.
No, but I think it's always been there. Obviously, the male chauvinist, like I'm dominant. I'm the leader. Like me, and it's like I should get what I want. And it's like, no, nobody should get what they want. You got to earn it,
right?
So,
and even then, you may not get it. You have to understand, like,
and that's what sucks. But it's like also life, dude. If you get knocked down, you get the back up. Well, you don't blame everyone else for why you're on the floor, dude.
Well, and especially when it comes to romantic relationships, that is another person with agency who gets to make that choice too. No matter, you could do everything right, and the other person be like, "I like that dude," and that's out of your control. It sucks.
That sucks, but that's also you don't
own that person.
At the end of the day, you don't own who you're with.
Right.
You don't get to say the final, well, this is my blah, blah, blah. But like we're individuals, we're humans, we're separate. Like if she doesn't love you anymore, like that hurts.
Or
that
she never loved you.
Who the knows? Whatever the story is, but it's just hard. And like I know as life goes on, like it has never been easy. It has always been difficult. But I think what I have been on not a spiritual, adventure or whatever, but I have been doing more things, and definitely through my partner, and it's been awesome because I am like with ceremonial magic and things like that. Like it's not saying like it's like a religion, like any religion, like you have things to believe in, you put your faith in stuff. But what I take from this, like everything they say, it's like it all comes down to you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because at something can always be done. Whatever it is, whether it starts very small or you go really big, but something can always be done. And that's where I started to question myself and my life and where I am going. If things are great, but it's also they're not going to be great forever. So what am I going to do? What questions am I asking myself? It's scary. It's really scary to be at this point and like I think I need to go, but not in like an angry way, but also in a like what else am I doing? Like what else can I do? And those are things I have to figure out.
Well, and that's a really scary thing when, like, when things are not going bad and you're like, "I still need to make a change." Because it's really easy to decide, like, "Shit is not going well. I need to change it up." But it's like, when you're comfortable and you're still like, "I need to make a change," that's a difficult
It
choice.
is. It is. And it is scary because it seems like going against everything that like I'm like arguing with myself like why are you doing that? You know? Like what just write it out. And it's like that seems like a great answer, but it's also not safe. It's not. And it's like if for anyone, if
Well, it's the illusion of safe.
it's the illusion of safe. Yeah. So you have to always figure out if there's more for you, why are you not going for that? You know, so many people get settled in a job and they're like, well, I'm going to do this till I'm dead.
Well,
And
and
it's like, but they're miserable the whole time. And it's like, I've also like, recently lost a very good friend and it made me realize like a lot of things of how uncertain anything is,
well, and
and it's just like we always know that. We always know that people you love die, family members, friends, they go to sleep, they don't wake up, things like that. And it's like that sucks. But it's like you mourn for something, but when the question is still there of like, all right, it's like a month has passed, 2 months have passed, and I'm like really sad. And I'm like, I lost somebody I really cared about, like Doug Sackman.
well, and Doug, like,
You knew
I
Doug,
knew
right?
Doug. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've known Doug for years, and, like, and one thing I'll say about Doug, Doug went for it. Like, Doug went for it.
And that's Doug has been Doug's passing has probably un, unfortunately, but it's probably he's been um the biggest like fire under my ass to like do more, dude. And that dude, that fucking guy has done everything. And the thing that I loved about him, and I think why we were friends for, since we met and everything, was he always had this attitude to like just help people and just do the things you love, right? And even when he was struggling in finances and stuff, he still found ways to always be involved in somebody else's production or produce for them or find ways to help other people where he totally didn't have to. He could have become probably a really successful producer and like been an asshole and everything. He was Lloyd Kaufman's mentor, but like as Lloyd took him under his wing and, you know, showed him how to like run a set and do everything. Doug did that for many people and for next to nothing. And always having that attitude of like, okay, this sucks, but you know what? I'm doing something I love, you know? And when you're around people like that, it you feed off that because it's like, man, like it's not like he's rolling in millions at all or anything, but he's doing something he loves. And if I was a millionaire, if I had money to burn, whatever, maybe I have a different frame. Or I don't know if people look at that as like weak or something, but to me, that is most successful you can ever be if you're doing the things you love.
100%, because it's been scientifically proven. Once you're earning enough to get your basic needs met, money stops buying happiness.
Yeah.
Like, that has been scientifically proven, first and foremost.
Yeah.
So the pursuit of mega wealth doesn't make you happy.
How many rich kids are horrendous people because their parents didn't put the time aside to spend with them? You know who raised them? Their babysitter, the nannies.
Well, then
somebody else.
add in that they've never had to actually have any challenges or someone said no to them in life. And that also, like, you need to be told no. You need to understand boundaries. You need to understand, like, basic human interaction that your money just doesn't buy anything. Like,
Yeah. Every loss is a lesson.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to it and you can learn from it, like you learned something that you're never going to repeat again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Or maybe the second time, or maybe the third time.